You learn a lot about people when working in the service industry, particularly how nasty folks can be. Whether through a sheer lack of decency or common sense, many customers walk all over employees. They rarely face any consequences for their selfishness either, but some individuals still try to make things right. In Utah, this hotel employee had dealt with her fair share of jerks. They didn't even faze her anymore, but when two guests left behind something she'd never come across in a hotel room before, she couldn't help but cry. Though few jobs are an absolute walk in the park, we can all agree that hotel housekeeping staff get the really short end of the stick. This maid in Park City, Utah gave it her all each day, but she worried nobody ever took notice. She came into the position through an unusual circumstance. Without any kind of appointment in place, she confidently walked up to the front desk in 2013. She looked so self-assured that nobody would expect she barely had any money to her name. Eyeing the now hiring sign on the front lawn, she asked the owner what kind of work she needed. The job hunter said she was ready to take on any kind of responsibility. The owner couldn't help but feel a little skeptical. What she really needed was for somebody to take over room cleaning duties, as their situation was getting out of hand. Certain guests could be real jerks, not caring what state they left the room in at all. Some went way too far. This unfortunate trend caused the owner's former hotel housekeeper to quit, and she hadn't been able to find a replacement since. While the brave volunteer claimed she could turn the mess around, the owner knew she'd likely give up after a few days. The new maid, however, proved that she was made of tougher stuff than her predecessor. In just a matter of weeks, she bested the huge pile of dirty laundry piling up in the back and devised a brand new organization system for the hotel. The once doubtful owner realized she owed a huge debt of gratitude to her heroic maid. Unfortunately, she didn't have the resources to reward her beyond her usual paycheck. Still, she knew a couple friends who might be able to help out. Kyle Orifice and Josh Gibson made a name for themselves doing good all over the country. They captured these unexpected moments of kindness in their YouTube channel, Give Back Films. Their first few videos already made quite a splash. These filmmakers put themselves on the map with heartwarming clips of them giving large sums of money to homeless people. Despite the simple concept, the emotional reactions brought them millions of views. From there, Kyle and Josh only wanted to go bigger. In 2014, they figured this enterprising maid would be another perfect subject. With the hotel owner's cooperation, they set out on their most daring plan yet. Josh and Kyle began setting up a series of hidden cameras in one room. After the highly technical step, the filmmakers got a little bit more loosey-goosey. They had to make the room look lived in so the maid wouldn't suspect anything. The two friends moved some furniture around and bashed around some pillows for good measure. Once the place looked messy enough, it was time to introduce the key piece of the puzzle. Josh scribbled down a note while Kyle laid down the contents of a fat envelope under the bedsheet. Finally, with the Do Not Disturb sign removed from their room door, Kyle and Josh's plan was in motion. The maid would swing by any minute, so the two plotters had to make themselves scarce. The Give Back Main Films masterminds retreated to their van, which was positioned right by the hotel room window. They could barely contain themselves as they watched the maid enter. At first, however, she didn't notice the big surprise. Soon enough, the devoted employee made her way over to the bed. As she pulled back the dirty linens, not usually a source of much excitement, she gasped. Tears rolled down her face. There on the mattress lay $500. This generous gift overwhelmed the maid, who was used to only seeing tips of a few bucks at a time, but an entire stack of 20s? This was life-changing for someone living paycheck to paycheck. Following the big reveal, Josh and Kyle stepped out of the van. As the maid embraced both guys, it seemed like their plan worked out perfectly. That was the moment she dropped some shocking news. Though she admitted the tip was a great surprise, the maid said she couldn't accept the money. It was all just too much. But Kyle and Josh took her by the hand and told her about their mission. They convinced her that she simply deserved the cash for all her hard work. And in the end, Kyle and Josh were even happier than the maid. There's something really cool about someone being genuinely happy, and it's exciting, explained Josh. And that thrill wasn't the only motivation behind their generosity.